The key metrics that real estate marketing professionals should be tracking for success are the following. The first thing is you need to make sure that you have tracking set up, first of all. So many don't have tracking set up, and tracking will tell you so much and give you so much information. So one piece of tracking would be phone calls. Make sure that you're tracking the phone calls, and you can do this through CallRail that can actually record the conversations of the phones coming in. So that's one great way. The next thing is obviously having a form on your website. So tracking with a really good form on your website. The form on that website needs to have questions that you want your buyers to answer. So find out how soon they're looking to move. What area are they looking to move in? What is the time of when they're looking to move? What is one of the biggest things that they're most interested in buying? And honestly, this is a good one. Why are you interested in buying a new home? Nobody asks that question, but that also will help you hit on that pain point area, right? So ask a series of anywhere from 4 to 6 questions with that online form. You want to make sure that you have landing pages and forms for all your different ads and having those questions that you can get people to answer, right? The next type of conversion would be one that a bot's able to get somebody to fill out as well. So if you can get somebody to fill out a detailed form fill, that's a pretty good qualified lead. If you can get somebody to make a phone call, that's a great qualified lead. And I know the number one thing that most realtors and most builders and developers want is we want to set up a tour, right? We want them to actually come into our communities, come into our homes. We want them to set an appointment with us so we can show homes. So that would be our number one. Hey, if we are actually getting people to come in, where we can tour, then that would be a great conversion as well. So at my agency, we look at all those. What is the cost of conversion to set up a tour, and what does it take to get there? The conversion for phone calls. What do we have to do to get people to actually make that phone call? And then the next thing is how can we get people to fill out that detailed form to give us as much information as we can about the home buyer to help us better sell? So those are the 3 things that I think are the most important types of conversions. A click and an impression, to me, a lot of digital companies will give you that metric, but is that selling your home, a click or an impression? No, it's not. To me, those are just numbers. You want real results, and that comes with the phone call, the form fill, and the visit. It's important to balance creative with data-driven strategy. And the reason why is if we know what types of conversions that we're looking to get, we know what our goals are, we can then set our creative up for success. And the important thing is on the ads that we're running, again, just like I mentioned from your website, one of the most important things for your website is to have really strong call to action. Well, the same thing would be for your ad campaigns that you're running. It doesn't matter what type of ad, whether it be a billboard ad, an email blast, a digital ad, you need to have a strong call to action to get people to take action with whatever you're asking them to do, whether it's to set up a tour, whether it's to make a call, or whether it's to fill out a form, or maybe it's an RSVP for an event. Whatever that is, we need to set up a really strong call to action within that. And we need to have really good, strong creative that's going to stand out, that's going to pop. Because you have to remember the feed is super busy. People have ADD. So you need to be able to create content that's going to stand out, that's going to resonate, that's going to tell a story, and that's going to convert. I love talking about data and marketing strategy and why it's so important, and how data and marketing strategy can lead to a very successful campaign. This is so key, and this is my favorite part, because at my agency, we set up all these different tracking devices with the call tracking, with the form fills with lots of survey questions, and also being able to track where people are coming in from is so important. And what I love about it is, especially when the sales team, the sales team will always go and tell marketing, well, marketing's not working. I'm not getting any phone calls. Well, when they find out that they're actually being tracked on what they do as far as how they're getting back to your leads that are coming in by having a really good engaging CRM system, first of all, where we can actually track their correspondence, where we can listen to the phone calls, because the phone calls will tell you where these leads are coming in from, which is also a great thing. And also the form fills will tell a lot as well. What I love is being able to come back in and say, you actually received 100 leads. And out of those 100 leads, you got 15 really good engaging phone calls where your salesperson was on the phone with them for over 5 minutes long. Because an over 5 minute conversation really can tell us that a lead is really hot. If somebody actually takes the time to fill out a pretty involved form on a website, that lead is pretty hot. So we need to really pay attention to that. We need to pay attention is once that lead gets passed off, why is that lead not converting, or what is the issue? Because a lot of times it might not be the marketing that's not making the sale. The problem could be on the other side.